everyone, it's your girl Felicia.
Hi, Felicia.
Today I have with me my son-in-law Kent. And so, Kent, what is one of your special dishes that you know that I would make today?
Come on, Miss Felicia. You know what that is. That's Southern baked macaroni and cheese with the extra cheese on it. You feel?
Yes. And with that extra cheese, this macaroni and cheese have 4 different kinds of cheeses. And I know that you like it, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And I know that your family would like it, your friends would like it, and so I want to share it, and maybe you can make it for your wife.
Oh, yeah.
And for your family.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, with no delays,
Let's get to it.
All right, I'm ready to do my macaroni to get it boiled. And I like to use my non-stick pot for this whenever I'm making macaroni and cheese. So you don't have to, it's up to you. And that's just my preference. And also, sometimes I go ahead and boil my water before I put my macaroni in there. And sometimes I just start it from cold water. So it's also up to you. So if you go ahead and start boiling your water, it's just a little shorter process. If you start from cold to put in there, it's still, but all together, the water still has to boil. And you want your macaroni to get done. That is the key. But while my water is on, you want to add a little salt. It's up to you. Some that watching the salt, you don't have to add any. I'm adding some to my salt so it can have a little taste and don't taste bland. And I'm going to go ahead on and put my macaroni in. The water's a little warm, almost hot, but not at the boiling stage. And so, you don't want to add your butter in. Please do not add no butter in at this time because it makes it harder for your cheese to stick to the macaroni. So I'm going to add my macaroni, and I'm just doing 10 ounces. I did use my weigh scale. You use 8 to 10. So I'm just going to use 10 ounces. And I'm going to just stir these a little bit. And one thing about cooking your pasta, the macaroni, you want to make sure you don't overcook your macaroni. So the best thing that I do, I keep me a fork nearby, and about maybe to like 8 minutes, I would test it and see if it's a little tender but not cooked all the way, because it's going to go in the oven, and you don't want a soggy, overcooked pasta. So it's best that you know, some people may want to overcook it, but it's up to you. But for me, I just don't, because it's got to go back in the oven to cook. But you do not want it still hard, but just a little on the tender side. And so when it's almost done, I will test one and let you look at it. That's how I do. But while the macaroni is on the stove boiling, we're going to go ahead and mix up our cheese mixture for the macaroni. Alright, before I get started on this, I got my large bowl, and I got my can of evaporated milk, my milk, and my slightly beaten eggs. And you preheat your oven at 350 degrees. But by this weather being so hot, I'm not going to preheat my oven right now. When my macaroni is almost finished, then I'm going to turn my oven on, y'all. It is hot, and I don't want, I got my air on. But who wants their air to constantly stand on? And when you cook in these ovens, it get the house warmer, and I don't want a very high light bill, so I'm just going to wait. So if you want to preheat your oven, go ahead on and do it, but I'm going to just wait until almost the last minute. So I got my large bowl, and all I'm going to do is pour in my evaporated milk in, my milk, and my slightly beaten egg. And we're going to just whisk those 3 ingredients together. Set this to the side. You're gonna whisk this together well. And I'm gonna combine all my stuff in this bowl. And when I get all this combined together, then I'll pour it on my macaroni. But you wanna make sure you whisk this well. Now I got that whisked together well. I'm getting ready to add in my other ingredients. Alright, I had to come back over here and check on my pasta because I don't want it to get too done, too tender. And I just said you don't want to look it all fluffy. You still want it together. And so you can just like taste one and see if it's tender enough. You don't want it like almost falling apart. So I'm going to take one. It's hot and it's easy to break. And this is how much I want it to be. If you want to cook it longer, it's up to you. But the best, I'm going to turn this heat off. And do make sure, even though this is a non-stick pot, you want to stir it every now and then because your pasta will start sticking it together. And so I'm going to drain this off. And I'm going to put my, I'm going to drain this water off. And we'll be back. All right, I drained the water off. I put it in my strainer. And I still got it sitting over the pot. And my pasta is just on the top. Drain a lot of that water off. So I'm going to leave that there. And I want to work pretty fast because you still want your pasta to be hot when you get ready to mix this up. So let's finish mixing up our cheeses. All right, we're ready to add in our cheeses. We're going to add in all our cheeses except for the mild cheddar cheese. So what we're going to do next, we got everything whisked. Now we're going to add in our cheeses. And so we got the sharp cheddar cheese. We got a Colby-Jack. And we want to work pretty fast, you know, because we want our pasta still hot. And I already got my my Velveeta cheese. I already tore that apart. And then we got our sour cream. Add that in there. And we're going to add in our butter. I reduced it down to 3 tablespoons. And this is at room temperature. Thinks it works better at room temperature butter. And then we're going to add in our salt, our sugar, our white pepper. And we're going to mix this together. Just a very strong pepper. So we got this mixed in pretty good. And now I'm going to get ready to add into with our macaroni. What you can do your macaroni in a pot and pour your cheese on the macaroni. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my macaroni in my cheese. So it's still a little hot. You see that steam, the little smoke. And I'm going to be breaking this up. It is hot. Add this in. You want to make sure you have your macaroni still hot. And I'm going to just stir this around in here. And one thing about your cheese, the best cheese I like to use is block cheese. Block cheese to me is better because that way it sticks. Sometimes some people don't like to use butter in their cheese, and you don't have to. But in this one, I made several different types of macaroni and cheese. And this one I add a little butter, but I don't add as much as I used to. You can go from 2 tablespoons to from 3 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons, maybe even 1, or none at all. So it's up to you. Because the butter doesn't really allow it to stick to the macaroni. So this is stirred it fairly well. And I'm going to put it in my dish. And I used a smaller dish this time. And I got, I will tell you is that parchment paper is my friend. This is a 7 by 11 dish. It's a small one. I'm not making a whole lot of macaroni and cheese. But if you want a more macaroni and cheese than this, just double the recipe. Just double it. So I got these on there to hold that parchment paper down some. So that is in there. I'm going to spread this around. And I can remove this finally, just enough to hold it in there. And put the rest in. If this dish is not big enough, guess what? I am going to use it in a bigger dish. Hopefully this is big enough. I don't want to get a huge dish. It looks like it's going to fit. I'll fit everybody. Make sure I get all the goodness of cheese out. And you're going to make sure that most time, if you don't want to make sure nothing spill out of your oven, you can just put a cookie sheet under it. So that way you won't have any spills. If it spill over, you won't have to clean your oven. And I got to get that mild cheese. And I grated it. Make sure you can go on and grate your cheese. And keep it in the fridge until you get ready to use it. So I'm just going to spread this cheese on top. And what you can do, you can just like put a little aluminum foil on top of it. And let it bake for like 10 minutes. And then take the aluminum foil off and finish baking it. And I'm going to get ready to turn my oven on finally for 350 degrees. And you want it to cook. Just watch it. Everybody's oven is baked different. So I always like to start small amounts, then I move up. I do like 20 minutes, and if 20 ain't good enough, I go to 25 or 30. It depends. So what I'm gonna probably do, I'm just gonna cover this up with some foil real tight. I'm gonna cut these sides off a little, and then you know what? Just keep a little bit on them, so when you get ready to clean out your dish, all you gotta do is just lift this whole thing out. And you have easy cleanup. Easy cleanup. So I'm ready to plop this in the oven. And we will see the end results. My mac and cheese is finished baking. Close up. I did let it bake for 10 minutes with the aluminum foil on when I first put it in the oven. After that, I removed the foil. And I let it bake for additional 20 minutes at 350 degrees. And to get it a golden bake, browner bake, I baked it for 10 extra more minutes. And I bumped up the temperature up to 375 degrees. And so that was the finished product. Now I'm going to get ready to cut into it and put some in my bowl. And this is going to be a delicious Southern mac and cheese. And you want that good bake on it. And I got a little in the bowl. And just see how the texture is. And I'm going to let you get a little closer look at it. So that's how you want that baked mac and cheese. This is gonna be delicious. This is a great time to try that Southern baked macaroni and cheese. I did add some more mac and cheese to this bowl, and I want you to get another look at it. It's a great time to try it with the 4th of July coming up. You got picnics, family reunions, whatever the occasion may be. I know that you and your family will enjoy it, and especially my son-in-law, Kent, will too. And if you'd like to have this recipe, just look down below in the description box. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and anytime that I might stream live or upload a video, just hit that notification bell. And as always, have a blessed and wonderful day. This is your girl, Felicia. Bye.